Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a little while since I made a new video. Had a few issues with technology, my laptop and camera. It's definitely not my expertise. But anyway, just got done putting some DEF fluid in my tank, in my DEF tank. Had a really hard time trying to find how much fluid that the tank will actually hold. I went on YouTube, actually just typed in DEF fluid F-250. There's a few videos on how to put it in, which is pretty straightforward. Couldn't find like how much the tank holds on this truck. I grabbed my manual. I looked through that for 5 to 10 minutes. Couldn't really find anything in there whatsoever under the DEF tank. Like I went through the back and the index under D, and there's not even a DEF column or whatever. I just bought one jug, so it's 2.5 gallons. I put it in, and right after I put it in, I sat in the truck. I didn't start the truck, but it still showed that it was empty. But I did watch a video on YouTube, actually like a Ford sponsored video, and they said that after you put the DEF fluid in, it may still read empty until you start driving for a little while. But if that doesn't help, then there are some procedures that you can do. It's like on a Motocraft website. Anyway, I drove for like a minute and a half, and the gauge came up. I actually just found a form online, and it said one guy has a Ford Transit, one of those vans, and he said that his van holds 5.5 gallons. And it also said something about on page 265 or 245 in the manual, but the manual may be different for his Transit compared to this 250. But regardless, it's probably pretty close. It maybe even be identical, because when I put the 2.5 gallons in, it brought it up to half a tank. And that's all that I'm going to put into it, because I'm 95% positive that I'm going to go with the Ford maintenance plan on this truck. And part of the thing that they do is they fill the DEF tank up when you come in to get your oil changes done and all that sort of thing. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So yeah, so the DEF tank, I pretty much ran it right till there was basically nothing left. It said in 102 kilometers, the truck would reduce speed to 80 kilometers an hour because the tank was empty. This is also like a 1 month sort of review of the truck. I've had the truck for just over a month now. Like I said before, I drive a lot for work. I'm actually on my way back up to New Brunswick here again. And it has 8,238 kilometers on the truck right now, in pretty much a month. For a lot of people, that is a lot, like absurd. For me, it's normal, it's typical, and sometimes that's even low. So over a month, just over a month, had the truck, 8,000 kilometers. So far my thoughts are so far it's great. The fuel mileage right now, if I'm on the highway doing between 110 and 120, can average pretty much anywhere from 11 and a half to 12 to, you know, 13 and a half, somewhere around there. I filled up my tank yesterday or the day before. I have 578 kilometers on this tank so far. I hadn't towed anything with it, but I've been in around town running some errands, and, you know, obviously some highway driving today. I've probably driven about 250, 300 kilometers so far. And on this tank, I'm averaging 13.7, so that's, you know, mixed driving. So that's, you know, like 17.1 or 17.2 MPG, which, again, isn't bad. And watching some videos, people are saying that they, you know, they can get between 20 to 22 MPG with these trucks, you know, trying to get good fuel mileage. But for just a stock truck, a new truck, the MPG is pretty good. I did kind of expect it to get a little bit better as time went on, and it still may. But it was actually surprising how good it was right from off the dealership. You know, obviously, if I put an intake in this, and if I change the exhaust, or if I get it tuned, I can get a lot more mileage out of it. You know, a lot more fuel efficiency out of this truck, for sure. But for just it being stock and you know, not really trying to get good fuel mileage, it's pretty good. Getting back to the depth, I've also seen some people saying asking, you know, how often do they change their depth fluid, or not change, but refill. And most people are saying that they get, you know, around 8,000 miles to a tank, or, you know, they just get it done every time they get their oil change. So, you know, 8,000 miles, you know, 12,000 kilometers, whatnot. And basically, I was at like 7,500 kilometers or so, 7,400 kilometers, when it started giving me the warning to fill it up. I think it starts at around like 900 kilometers, 850 kilometers is when it starts to warn you that you should add more fluid. It may get better as time goes on, like it may get more range out of it, but it also goes, you know, obviously by your fuel consumption. It doesn't just go by your kilometers or mileage, it goes by your fuel consumption. And where I tow a lot, and I have been towing a lot, that's why, you know, I didn't get to my first oil change for them to refill it. And for us here in Canada, I bought the jug from the Ford dealership, again 2.5 gallons, and it was $33 or $34. And I mean, it's funny because you look at some forms, you know, for the States, and some YouTube videos, and like I think you guys are paying something like $12 or $13 for a jug. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it just shows you how high things can be here in Canada compared to the States. So yeah, 1 month, nothing wrong with the truck. Haven't had to take it back. You know, I thought the tailgate was a problem, but it's not. I figured that hose clamp that had wrapped around the bracket on the tailgate, you see in one of my previous videos, that they put those there when they're sitting in the dealership so that people can't easily steal the tailgate. They have to have a wrench to loosen those off in order to steal the tailgate. This is what the guy told me that they actually do that for. when I go in for my oil change and, you know, the first maintenance, definitely gonna get my tires rotated. I'm gonna get my tires rotated every oil change. That's just what I do. Again, I do drive a lot, so I want to get the absolute maximum mileage out of my tires that I can. And I'm convinced myself that I am going to get them to put the truck on the computer and realign the truck and ensure that the steering wheel is straight. Right now it doesn't look too bad. Right now it looks dead center, but there's times when I'm driving and I'm driving in a straight line and the steering wheel is tipped off to the side. It's usually tipped off to the passenger side. You know, this steering again has that assisted steering, which makes it really easy to turn when you're going slow in parking lots and whatnot. So that may have something to do with the steering wheel. Like, it may make the steering wheel, you know, sort of, I don't know, like tippy. I don't really know the word, to be honest with you, that I'm looking for here. But I did end up getting my airbags installed. What was that? A week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I've used it. I've hauled with the truck a few times with the, you know, the trailer, dump trailer with the firewood behind me, with the airbags, and it makes a huge difference. It's unreal, actually, how much of a difference it makes. If you didn't, like, there's times when I'm driving with, you know, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 pounds behind me, with anywhere, you know, depending on how much weight, 70 to 100, 105 pounds of air in my airbags, and you get a little lug every once in a while if you hit the right bump. But if you didn't look in your rearview mirror, you really wouldn't know that trailer is behind you. Just because, a couple of reasons. It stiffens the truck up, takes all the sway out of it, and also the truck has so much power, it doesn't really struggle at all. Like going up pretty good hills with that weight behind, and the truck barely shifts down. I've said before, you know, towing that weight, this truck generally is easier on fuel than what my V10 is empty. And you can't compare them whatsoever. I understand that. You can't compare. It's definitely not apples to apples. You know, it's a V10 gas engine versus a twin turbocharged V8 diesel engine. Completely different. These are made for towing. They are made for long drives. They are designed for fuel mileage. At least they used to be, before we had all this DEF and diesel particulate filters and, you know, all that stuff. But, you know, whatever's best for the environment, I guess they've got that figured out. Other than you could make these things a lot easier on fuel if you didn't have that stuff pumping through the engine, and you burn less fuel. Burn more fuel, add particulate filters and whatnot, or burn less fuel without it. Which is better? Obviously, they decided that it's better to have these systems in place. Today, I actually ran into a little bit of snow on the way up. It's +3, +4 degrees. Getting some colder mornings, and curious to see, you know, how the truck starts. Cold start. There were a few mornings where, you know, I put my foot in the brake, press the start button, and it says engine start, delaying, or whatever the message is on the dash. basically, you know, the old glowing the plugs in the diesel engine. So obviously that's how it's going to start in the wintertime. But I will make a few videos on cold starts, because I mean they're a popular topic with diesels, that's for sure. I definitely see more power stroke videos for cold starts than anything else. I don't know if they have a harder time starting, or historically I know they did have a little bit of a hard time starting in the cold. But I mean, with today's technology, they've got that figured out now, so I'm not really concerned about that. But yeah, the snow is coming. Definitely curious to see how the truck does in the snow, and how the VFG KO2s are in the snow. I said before that I have a lot of buddies that plow snow as well as I do, that swear by these tires. A lot of off-roading guys, you know, TFL truck guys with their Raptor, they swear by these tires. I've watched a few videos. Guy there, Family Wheels, he had one of these up in BC in the mountains, in the snow, with the factory Michelin LTX2s, I think they're called. And he said, you know, like all full-size trucks with no weight in the back and two-wheel drive, the truck sort of didn't do all that great in the snow and slick conditions. And he mentioned, you know, maybe a more winter-worthy tire would make a huge difference. So I'm definitely curious to see how this truck does. I'm on the verge right now, or I'm on the fence, I guess, of putting the plow mount on this truck. If I get a couple more clients, I'll probably have to get a plow and a mount, you know, the whole system for this truck. But if I don't, a lot of times, like I've said, we have to go hook up generators and whatnot to the sites to keep them powered during power outages. And our two main work trucks for doing that are the F-350 and the Tighter Tundra. And the 350 is the only one right now that has a plow, has the plow mount, and that's the truck that the Salter goes on. So in the event that the guys may be out hooking generators up or dealing with issues at the sites, you know, down trees, you know, power outages, things like that, and if I need to go plow, then the only truck that would be around would be this one, and I have to plow. Like, I have to get these people's driveways done, these businesses done. So if I was able to get the plow mount for the truck and the plow gear, you know, the remote, then I could use this truck, you know, at least to plow. I had to salt by hand, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm on the fence right now of what to do. I'm actually waiting on pricing from my buddy Peter at Lifestyle Trailers and Truck Accessories over in Dartmouth. So I'll keep you updated on that. Ideally, I would use this truck mainly for commercial plowing if I had to. I don't really want to get into doing residential driveways with this truck. Not right now. A couple years when it's all scratched up, then I won't worry about it too much, but right now I don't want to do that. Well, alright guys, I think that pretty much covers it. You know, 1 month review, DEF fluid added, Ford maintenance program. We'll talk about that a bit later. I'll make a video on that, and maybe if you guys want to comment and give me some input on that, it'd be great. All the information, more information the better. But alright guys, I'm gonna let you go. Don't forget to please like, share, subscribe. me know if we can grow this thing up. We'll get some stuff to try out. And, you know, I'll be your guinea pig. I can try stuff out and see if it works. And then that way you know if you want to buy it or not. Anyway, guys, have a great day. I'll see you on the next one, and take care. Be safe. Later.